Okay, another episode of my CARVLOG. Apple has announced that they will remove the YouTube app in iOS 6. And that is exactly how I have been talking about before in videos and in Google Plus posts. Apple seems to remove everything Google at the moment in their operating systems, both in Mountain Lion and in iOS. We had Google Maps removed earlier, replaced by Apple's own maps, and now also YouTube. But I don't think that's bad actually, because the YouTube app in the default YouTube app is really bad. It sucks really. Had never been updated since my first iPhone. It's really old and very hard to reply to comments on YouTube videos and so on. Really bad app. So I think that's a great move by Apple, removing the YouTube app. And Apple also announced that Google are working on a new app that we will be able to install from the App Store. So it's no big deal actually. It's only for the better. Remove a default app that you can't even uninstall with a new app available from the App Store. So everything will be just better. And personally, I have used the YouTube web app for many years now, so instead of the default YouTube app, so no big deal for me. The web app is so much better than the default YouTube app. Much better. And Apple also announced that, of course, YouTube will continue work in Safari web app. So no difference there. So the only reason why Apple removing YouTube from iOS 6 is that the license to add YouTube app to iOS has ended. So they don't have to add the YouTube app anymore. And then Apple decided that the app is so bad, so why add it to default on iOS? No reason at all. So it's better to remove it. It's old and really bad, and will be replaced by a new YouTube app by Google from the App Store, or you could continue using the web app in Safari. So no big changes actually. Of course, some users doesn't know how to use the web app and maybe not even install apps from the App Store. They will miss the YouTube app. But then it's a good time to learn how to do these things, because that's much about what iOS is about. Apps. You need to install good apps to do cool stuff, create stuff, enjoy stuff, consume stuff. So apps is what iOS is about. So if you don't know how to install an app from the App Store or use the web app, then it's time for you to start learning. That's the fact. So I don't think removing the YouTube app is a bad thing. I'm sure of a lot of Apple haters, Android fanboys and so on says that it's because Apple and Google is at war and Apple hates Google and so on. That's why they remove it. No other reason. But I'm sure that's not the truth. Yes, they are at war because Google and Apple are competitors, but the reason why they removed the YouTube app is that the license has ended and they don't have to add that as a default app that you can't uninstall. The only apps that will be default apps that you can't uninstall will be Apple's own apps. And that's a great thing too, because for example Safari, you have to have Safari installed. You have to have Mail app installed because the operating system is dependent on them. So if you uninstall these apps by accident, then you crash your device. Yesterday I started talking about OS 10 Mountain Lion. And another feature that's really great in Mountain Lion is Power Nap. And it's an excellent, awesome, useful feature. It only works on the latest MacBook Airs and the Retina MacBook Pro. You need to have an 2011 mid MacBook Air or the Retina MacBook Pro. So my 2011 mid MacBook Air 11-inch is supported, luckily. And Power Nap is a feature that updates your computer while it's sleeping, and that's maybe doesn't sound so interesting, but it is, because you can do a lot of stuff like time machine backups, iPhoto syncing, you name it. Apple Mail downloads all mail for you while you're sleeping and so on. Software updates and much more. And it does Power Nap doing all this while your computer is at sleep. You don't hear it, you don't feel it, it doesn't get warm, the battery hardly not drains at all, and so on. If you're doing it on battery, you can choose to use it on battery or only on power. I think this is a really great feature, because if you have a MacBook, you always just close the lid and the computer goes to deep sleep. And when it's in the deep sleep now, Power Nap updates it. I don't know how it works, but it doing it somehow without the computer waking up. And I think that's brilliant. Great idea, and it works. I've used it since day one, and it's absolutely amazing, because these things that Power Nap can do for me now, it took some time for me to do those things, and the CPU cycles are important, so I'm glad these CPU cycles could be used for my work instead of annoying things like backups and syncing. So to me this is a great feature, because I can be even more productive and creative. I can create content, video editing and so on, without having to do backups and syncing and everything else. So Power Nap is a really great Mountain Lion feature. One feature in Mountain Lion that I don't like though is that now I can't see directly on the icon how much time I have left on my battery. The battery now shows percent exactly as it does on iOS devices. But if I hover the mouse over the icon, click on the icon, then I can see the time I have left on my battery. Okay, not a big deal, but when you're close to have no battery left, then I want to see how much time I have left all the time in my menu bar. Now I can't. I can only see percent, and that's not the same. That's a drawback, but no big deal. I can probably live with it, don't you think? Okay, now I'm at my work again, so we have to continue this car vlog when I'm coming back and driving home again. Bye! This morning I talked about Apple removing the YouTube app in iOS 6. That means it's the beginning of this car vlog this morning. And I posted a post on my Google Plus blog about that yesterday. And of course it got a quite lively discussion from some Android fanboys and Apple haters and so on, as usual. They don't like what Apple are doing and so on, and killing Google from iOS devices, and they don't like their attitude and so on. But as I said this morning in the beginning of this car vlog, it has nothing to do with it. The license has ended, and the YouTube app is a terrible app. It sucks. It hasn't been updated since 2007, so who cares if Apple removes it? I haven't been using it for over 2 years. I have used the web app instead because it's so much better. So Apple are doing the right thing here. We don't need a really bad YouTube app, really old app. It has nothing to do with that. Nothing. And as I said, Google are working on a new native app. It will be available in the App Store, so who cares? And everything just gets better because now when we click on a YouTube link in an email, for example, it will open in Safari and work in the web app instead of the link opening in the really bad native app from 2007. Everything just gets better. So it's a quite boring discussion to see that this is something Apple are doing because they are at war with Google and hate Google and so on. I think this is a great thing they do. The YouTube app sucks. That's it. You will find a link below this video in the description text to the Google Plus blog if you want to read the post there that I did about it. And you could join the discussion if you want. But I see a lot of hate there, so I can't recommend it really. But you can read it at least. And more about Mountain Lion then. As I already said, I love Safari 6. It's my main web browser on both my Macs and iOS devices. There is only one thing that I don't like in Safari 6, and that's when I'm typing comments on Google Plus. The only place I have seen this. Nowhere else I have seen it. Only on Google Plus in the comments. Then the characters, the text I'm typing gets corrupted somehow, gobbled. I can't see what I'm typing if I'm not scrolling the page a bit. Then the text gets updated so I can read what I have typed. And this only happens on the Google Plus page, so I don't know why. Really, really strange. And in Safari 5 that didn't happen. Only in Safari 6, I don't know why. And only on Google Plus. Nowhere else. And I think it's strange. Really strange. That's quite annoying because I use Google Plus a lot, as you know. I'm quite big on Google Plus, and I post a lot and I comment a lot. So it's quite annoying. I don't know why it happens, but it happens. I will check if I install the latest nightly build from webkit.org, if that solves this problem. I don't know, but I could try. Because I don't want to switch to Chrome because of this, because I love Safari. So hopefully I don't have to switch to Chrome, and this will go away somehow, this problem. And today I talked with a Google Plus user that says that in Safari 6 the CPU spikes at 125% on his Core to Duo Mac computer when he uses Google Plus site in Safari 6. I have never seen that myself, but kind of strange that strange things in Safari 6 happens on the Google Plus page, nowhere else. I think that's quite strange. I don't know why really. Safari 6 is quite modern and uses a lot of new modern techniques that's quite new. Maybe that's why, but why only on Google Plus then? For example, Safari 6 uses a new version of the JavaScript engine that's really, really, really fast, beats Chrome and so on. It's really fast. If that could be the problem, I don't know. Hopefully either Google updates Google Plus or Apple updates Safari 6 somehow, but I don't think it's Safari's problem, because this problem is only on the Google Plus site. So it sounds more like a Google Plus problem. Another thing in Mountain Lion that I would like to have is in the notification center, when you get a Twitter notification from the built-in support of Twitter. If you click on that reply, for example, it opens on twitter.com in Safari, and it's a nice solution, but I would like to have an option to choose to open in, for example, my favorite Twitter client, Tweetbot. Or if someone uses the native Twitter app from the official Twitter app from Twitter, they could choose to open it in that app instead of twitter.com. That feature I would like to have. Of course, I could have the notification from the Tweetbot app directly, and when I click on this notification, it opens in Tweetbot. That works, but only if I have Tweetbot open all the time. These other native Twitter support works all the time. So that's a big difference. I would like to see, but probably not. We will never see that probably. I have seen in the developer version of Mountain Lion that if you click on a Facebook notification, it opens on facebook.com. So, and that's kind of great because we don't have a great native Facebook app for Mac anyways. Not an official one, at least. So if a notification from Facebook opens in facebook.com, I don't care, but I would like to see a Twitter notification open in a specific Twitter app that I choose. That would be cool. And one of the greatest things in Safari 6 is the tab navigation, the built-in tab navigation. So as you probably have seen, I have made some videos on YouTube about how I use native apps and web apps, web services in their own window as full screen apps. So for example, I open Google Plus in one window as a native app, and then I use Gmail, for example, in another window as a native app in full screen mode. Then I swipe left and right between them as they were native apps. With the new Safari 6, I don't have to open web apps and web services in their own windows and use them as native apps, because now I can use a pinch out gesture on my touchpad and then swipe left and right between all open tabs, exactly as I have done before, but now I have them all collected in Safari in different tabs. Much easier and much better. So the new tab navigation feature in Safari 6 is really great. Now I don't have to have every web page open in their own window anymore. Not that it was a bad idea, because that's really great too, but now I can use a pinch out gesture on my touchpad and do the exact same thing, navigate between my tabs in Safari, directly in Safari. Really cool. I love the touch-based gestures in Mountain Lion. I love the full screen mode and so on. Really cool. Hopefully we will see this tab navigation thing in other apps too. It would be really cool to have in other apps too. So now I'm home again, so we will have to quit this episode of the CARVLOG. I hope you will like this CARVLOG. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I need more subscribers. And hopefully I will upload this video this evening, so you can watch this later. So bye for now.